The suspect in the attack on Republican Senator Rand Paul, he now may face more serious criminal charges. That's what the police are now saying. The senator's 59-year-old neighbor, he's Rene Boucher, he is being charged with fourth degree assault. He was let go on a $7,500 bond. He had tackled Senator Rand Paul from behind on Friday. He blindsided the senator while the senator was mowing his lawn at his Kentucky home. Rand Paul suffers now from 5 broken ribs, a bruised lung. He's having difficulty breathing. It's unclear what triggered the altercation. Boucher is believed to be anti-Republican, but his lawyer says it was over a trivial matter, had nothing to do with politics. It's now an open timetable for when Senator Rand Paul will return to the Senate. Now this, former DNC chair Donna Brazile pushing back against critics of her new scathing expose of Hillary Clinton's failed campaign and the Democrat Party and the DNC. Donna Brazile has a message for anyone trying to silence her. Roll tape.
For those who are telling me to shut up, they told Hillary that a couple of months ago. You know what I tell them? Go to hell. I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to tell my story, George. And I say go to hell because why am I supposed to be the only person that is unable to tell my story?
Brazile is telling her story big time, a scathing portrait that could mark the beginning of the end for the Clinton era in Democrat politics. Brazile's book describes how the Clintons hijacked the DNC's operations, rigged the primaries against Bernie Sanders, how Clinton's badly mismanaged campaign created no enthusiasm among minorities. Donna Brazile also says she wanted to replace Hillary Clinton with Joe Biden and Cory Booker on the ticket after Hillary Clinton fainted at that September 11th event in New York City. Donna Brazile blasting as, quote, shameful, the Clinton campaign's initial cover-up of Hillary's illnesses and much more. Joining me now, former New York representative and Independent Women's Forum board of directors. She's Nan Hayworth, and we've got Democrat strategist Danielle McLaughlin. Good to see you both.
Thank you, Liz.
Now, Nan, it is a withering portrait. Is this the end of the Clinton era?
Well, I think that began on Election Day in 2016, actually, and Hillary's book only made it worse. And look, unfortunately, what shocked me the most, actually, was not that Hillary's team did everything they could to co-opt and take over the mechanics of the Democratic Party. They were the ones with the money. What shocked me was that President Obama had left the party in debt. Here is the most popular Democratic president among moneyed elites that we had in recent memory, to be sure, the most popular Democrat. How was that able to happen?
Yeah, and here's the thing, to Daniel, to Nan's point. The Clinton takeover of the DNC happened because Donna Brazile says it was bankrupt. It was $2 million in the hole, hollowed out by what she says 3 titanic egos, Obama, Clinton, Wasserman, Schultz. It was ripe and ready for the Clinton takeover, right?
Well, I'm not going to call it a Clinton takeover.
Donna Brazile calls it that.
Well, and Brazile called it rigged and then walked that back as well. Look,
she's saying it was rigged, that they took over the primary process.
These victory funds are terrifying to anybody who, whatever stripe you are. Trump's, you could raise up to $500,000. Clinton's was $350,000. So if you're a regular American, you can donate $2,700. I think there are issues that need to be addressed by the DNC, and I think actually Brazile bringing this out into the light is probably a good thing.
Yeah, but she's saying, Nan,
campaign finance is the real problem.
Right. Well, she's also spending because Donna Brazile says David Wasserman Schultz had a Chevy Tahoe, a coterie, a phalanx of people, consultants, and all of that. Absolutely. I mean, the question is, will the Democrats finally clean house? Because Donna Brazile says it was unethical that Hillary did rig the Democrat Party primaries and that the Clinton campaign systematically sent the DNC, bent it to its will. I mean, even House Speaker, watch this, Paul Ryan, he's saying he's never seen anything like this before. He now is questioning whether the Clintons may have laundered donations through the DNC. Roll tape.
No wonder the Democrats are ticked off. I would be too. It's amazing to me how the Clintons just lived above the law or above the rules in this thing to have a primary, have one of the primary participants stacking the deck and running the party. I've never heard of that before. That just takes the cake in my mind.
And Senator Elizabeth Warren says it was rigged too.
And more to the point, what they were doing was taking enormous donations through this joint fundraising committee that were nominally going to the state Democratic parties, right, Danielle? Right. And unfortunately, and presumably, perhaps illegally, they were then shunted back to Hillary Clinton's campaign.
Right. Well, the same thing happened with the
local
Trump
Democrats.
Campaign. I mean, the same thing happened with Trump. He had a large number. I think the Trump Victory Fund had about 62
We're talking about the Democrats. So stay in what's going on in the Democrat Party, because they've been in meltdown mode right now.
Well, I will say also that the only persons who are actually looking like they may have laundered money is Paul Manafort. So
No,
I think there are bigger problems
that was why
than
I was
just
working for
Clinton.
the
All right, so
previous
Brazile,
group, by the way, not Trump.
All right, so Donna Brazile also writes in her book that she considered replacing Hillary Clinton with Joe Biden and Cory Booker as the ticket. Let's take a listen.
You didn't have the power on your own to replace Hillary on the ticket.
No, but as you well know, the charter of the DNC, as well as the convention rules, say that the chairperson shall, in consultation with the leadership in Congress and others. And so I had to put it on the table, George, because I was under tremendous pressure after Secretary Clinton fainted to have a quote-unquote plan B. I didn't want a plan B. Plan A was great for me. I supported Hillary, and I wanted her to win, but we were under pressure.
There was a plan B. There was a backup plan. And when the media reported on that, the Democrats went ballistic, saying there's no such thing. Of course they're going to say that, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, there had to be a plan B. You would be thinking about these things at any point, I think.
If your nominee is incapacitated.
Well, of course, and that could happen to any of them. I think there was an issue with the way that was handled in fairness, but I think also hindsight is 2020.
But wait, hang on a second. We've got to also talk about how the campaign was run. Donna Brazile saying the Brooklyn headquarters for the Hillary Clinton campaign was sterile. It was like somebody died. There was zero enthusiasm. The technocrats had taken over. They became split from the heart and soul, to her words, of the American people. What are your thoughts about that?
I think it's a really big problem, and I think having spoken to people who were in that headquarters towards the end, I think they thought they were going to win. I think many of us thought that she was going to win, Republicans and Democrats alike.
The polls, they said that. But, Trump was hitting the American people. There was no, again and again,
she didn't visit Wisconsin.
There was no Hillary Clinton campaign signs, even in minority neighborhoods.
No, this was a campaign that was run by the East Coast eggheads, basically. I mean, it really was. And how could you not go to Wisconsin? I'm a Midwesterner. I come from so-called flyover country.
Mistakes were made.
President Trump was right there. He caught hearts and minds. He took a big chunk of the Democratic electorate.
At the end of the day, she won the popular vote and she won the primary by 4 million votes.
That's why we have an electoral college.
There could be a sea change of the DNC happening right now. Nan and Danielle, you're going to be back in a moment. Thank you so much. Now, NFL anthem protests. We're in the 9th week of them. Look at this. We have broadcast legend Vin Scully. He's making headlines for what he is